It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yo, what's
Voila!
up?
How you
Yo,
doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, brother?
I am good. I am beautiful. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a
Although I
beautiful,
didn't eat
well, it's a
crap
beautiful
today.
day in the neighborhood too. You know what? I know this has kind of become a weird thing for us, and I think it's going to be kind of like a weird way to kind of like intro the show. But why'd you
Mhm.
do that? Look, it's not that weird. No, I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about. But first question to you is, how's the weather out there in California? Because I was
It
going to
is.
say
I think I haven't really been outside today. I've just been a lazy ass. It is 72 degrees right now as we speak at 7:06
that's
p.m.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Do you know what the
Are
temperature
you
is?
cold again?
Huh? Dude, we keep going through like we've got this weird like cold vortex. Like, okay, so I'm gonna give you a little explanation real quick. By the way, I just want to say welcome, Kyber Cave family. Thank you for tuning in.
Woo!
You
Thank you
guys,
for
thank you
coming
for tuning
back and
into
hanging out with us.
yeah, and checking out another cool episode of Gen X Men. I am your boy DJ Uppercuts, and then I got my boy Rad Boy Go. Don't know why he's got on there, but like I'm gonna split it in half because I know why he likes to do that. Like if anything, I like to showcase him, not myself. So, anyways, but yes,
We're doing more. I'm trying to get some angles, give some
you're trying to
expression.
get some depth to it, and I get it, I get it, I get it. So if that's the case, then we can do some zooming in, zooming out. I'll
Yeah,
let you
yeah.
do.
When it's my turn to talk, then I'll be the big
You'll
head
reverse.
instead.
Okay, that's totally cool with me. But I did want to tell you about the weather here, bro. Okay, so I don't know if you know Michigan, but Michigan is shaped like a hand. We call it the mitt, the mitt. So I live right about here. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
tell me.
yeah. So I'm about right here. Like I'm a little north, I think northwest of Detroit. Um, but we have the lakes up here, and then we have what's called the Upper Peninsula. The UP is what we call it. And those guys have been getting crazy snow. We've got this weird northern vortex. There's like four different like weather phenomena that are happening simultaneously within our country, which is very weird and telling of the whole climate change aspect of things. But
No, we're
anywho,
in end times.
yeah,
I'm really thinking about doom spending might be the way to go.
right? So we've got this weird cold vortex. Now, granted, we've got a couple of lakes right here that tend to protect us from things like in our area we don't see a lot of tornado. In fact, we don't really see any tornadoes from our areas because the water usually diffuses a lot of tornadoes and whatnot. But up in northern Michigan and in the Upper Peninsula, we get a lot, like they're still getting tons of snow, bro. So we're getting like we get the remnants of that where we get these weird cold fronts. So it's been like in the 70s, which is darn near hot for us out here. If like 50s is great weather. And so we end up getting like these weird, so all spring, which should be spring, we keep getting these hot flashes and these cold flashes. We're like a guy with andropause. Like it's just like hot flash, cold flash, hot flash, cold flash. It's like me in my 50s. Like it's weird. And it ends up turning into like this time where we get like some good weather, then we get this really cold weather. I mean, we haven't had any more snow yet, but it's cold now. It's like 30 degrees right now here. And like that's like it's not that cold,
Jesus
but
Christ,
it's
it
cold.
took you like 2 minutes to get to 30 degrees.
I had to explain. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, I did start a little long. I was a little long-winded on that. That's why you shouldn't
Apparently,
give me
it
the
was
mic.
that cold there.
Anywho, welcome back to another episode of Gen X, man. Like I said, I am your boy DJ Uppercuts. I got my boy Rad Boy Go over here. Um, we are chilling tonight. We are going to talk about a very, very, very interesting character that was, honestly, I'm instrumental in my life.
Instrumental to well, I mean, to all of the 80s. And, if you think about movies and how other movies
Movies,
were produced after this
television,
time.
puppeteering, cinematography. When dealing with puppeteering, we're going to talk about Jim Henson tonight. And he
Woo!
is somebody that I grew up with, and I'd been watching the Muppet Show as long as I can remember, and then watching
Do you
shows.
remember? Do you remember? Was it Sunday nights? That's like when it was Sunday nights when the Muppet Show would come on TV. It was only a couple years, but it was I can't remember. It wasn't live.
No, it
Um,
wasn't live. It was originally so the Muppet Show was originally Jim Henson pitched it to a British TV network, and it was originally aired in Britain in the UK. And then he got, I think it's the Associated Television. I think that's the name of the production company that ended up picking it up. And it wasn't until it went into syndication, it was in, I think, like I think ABC might have picked it up and whatnot once it went to syndication. So so yeah, like it was like I said, it didn't go to syndication till way after he had already filmed it and it had already been like taken off the air. And now Disney Plus is actually re-airing new versions of the Muppet Show. So they have a whole new
Dude, the Muppet Show was a banger, dude. The
yeah,
Muppet Show for kids was like Johnny Carson for adults. That was like
exactly.
our get. That's where we'd see all our cool celebrities we wanted to see.
Exactly. We got to see our cool celebrities. They got to come out and cameo. It was just a really cool show. It had a lot of depth to it with music and comedy and slapstick and kind of almost a vaudevillian aspect to it. Like it was actually really 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 cool. So like I've always dug Muppet Show. Like I said, my mom, that was one of the few shows my mom even let me really watch. So I got a chance to watch that and it was just amazing. So um, so yeah, but yeah, it was pretty cool, man. And so like I really want to talk about like how he impacted us. Like he didn't just impact us with the Muppet Show. The man, and we'll get into it. His puppets were used in Star Wars. His puppets were used throughout.
His voice, right?
Nah, I mean, well, okay, we'll dive into it. Like, we'll dive into that question because I do have a question for you because it wasn't actually his voice that was used. A lot of people like because it was his puppets that were used in Star Wars, they think it was his voice. Technically, wasn't him. It was the voice of Frank Oz. But
Okay. You're right. You're right. Frank Oz is
but now you kind of ruined my whole
yeah.
setup. But so I might as well just dive into it. So Frank Oz did the voice, but Lucas did originally approach Jim Henson to do the voice. He did approach him. Jim Henson said no. So Jim Henson did refuse to do the voice, but of course, and that's just because Jim was I don't know. I think a lot of people rumored that it might have been him feeling kind of camera shy or just not necessarily wanting to attach himself to Star Wars. He wasn't sure how well Star Wars would do, but he had his puppets in it, so he wasn't really worried about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. That ruined one of my clips. So thanks a lot, buddy. You
I wonder if that was for Star Wars 2 or Star Wars 1, because I think by the time they had Yoda in Star Wars 2, which would have been Empire back in the day,
yeah.
And, like Star Wars was long established as like
It was, and like I said, so
franchise.
I think he was feeling a little more camera shy and felt like I don't know, because Jim Henson essentially was an actor, having to do all those voices and with the puppeteering and like making those puppets come to life, that takes some acting chops, and I think he might have not necessarily wanted to take that as a career path. I'm not sure. We can delve into it later on. But first, I feel like we should get into some nerdy news because you said you wanted to talk about something, and you wouldn't tell me what it is, even though like you spoiled my bit. Like I don't want to spoil your bit. So
I don't have any visuals, any graphics. This is instead of nerdy news, it's more of like nerdy thoughts. I was thinking back to I think it must have been the late 80s or early 90s when it seemed like certain themes would like come up from different studios at the same time. Like, do you remember when what's up, Say Wong? I'm happy to see you survive Zach Anime.
yeah.
Raphael on his way back from Cincinnati, where he hung out with
Ooh,
Ralph Macchio.
nice, nice, awesome.
um,
Well, it's good to see you, Kyber Cave family.
Woohoo! Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us, Raphael, wherever in the country you are right now. We'll be happy to see you home back here in the Bay. Let me know if you need a ride. Yeah, it's a joke because he's always giving me rides.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, do you have any?
Oh, So my thought was like, do you remember? Like, okay, I remember, and I don't remember what summers, but there was one summer when we were probably in middle school where like the two big movies that summer were about asteroids coming towards there, and then they both have there was the one with Ben Affleck or whatever or
Yeah,
I want to close my eyes.
I don't think we were in middle school.
Armageddon.
Yeah,
Armageddon.
that was Armageddon. Armageddon actually came out when we were in college. We were both in San Diego when Armageddon came out.
Oh, that one was that late? I thought that
Yeah,
was
that was that
earlier.
late. Yes, no. I vividly. I don't have to tell you the memory, but I vividly remember
Okay.
seeing that.
At any rate, that
Anyway,
same time when
but
that movie came out, there was another movie that came out,
yes,
but it had like a different version. It was more like the meteor hit and
it
we
was
went underground.
called Deep Impact. It was called Deep Impact, and it had Morgan Freeman as the president. Yeah, Morgan Freeman was the president of the United States, and yes, it was a similar thing. But those both came out and they competed against each other. Now, I'm gonna
Same summer.
same summer. I'm gonna say that I preferred as a cinematic sort of thing going on. I preferred Armageddon. Armageddon had a much more star-studded kind of cast. It didn't just have,
Okay.
it didn't have Ben Affleck.
That was just a setup. That's not even the point, dude. The point wasn't which was the better of the two. Listen, do you remember there was a summer where the Bugs Life came out and then the
came
Ant
out.
movie,
Yes,
or Ant came out at the same time. I'm saying that like a lot of times it seems to me that there's been times where studios were dropping exactly the same product but like different perspectives of it. You know what I mean?
I think that tends to happen a lot in media, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if anybody can give me any insight, unless it's just to see what people will like and what people won't, and then be like, hey, it's basically the same movie. So why don't you like my movie if you like their movie? Like I don't know. I like, can you give me an answer why that is? Like why would studios do that? Like,
See,
why
and
do
then
you?
okay. Now here's the theme. Now here's the theme that freaks me out. How come the themes are about like cosmic threats that are unavoidable? Like beings coming from the outside to mess your stuff up.
I mean, honestly, I think that is a kind of a quintessential like fear that we now have, knowing that like that. I mean, we've all known, but now having a little more knowledge and even some uh proof of the fact that aliens exist and whatnot. I think that's a relative fear. And the human race, we're a bunch of dicks, bro. And so we kind of deserve to get our butts kicked by a freaking alien race. And I think deep down inside, we know that we're jerks, and that if aliens came down and kicked our butts or took our planet and decided to say, hey, look, you guys are messing up this beautiful planet here. Like, we're gonna take it, we're gonna do something with it, or we're not gonna do something with it. We're just gonna steal it and we're gonna kill all you guys. I think somehow we feel like we deserve it because we are assholes as a human race, dude. Like we're a bunch of jerks. Sorry for the cursing, but I mean, it's the truth, man. And so I think that fear translates into art.
Smith says we are the infection.
Yes, we are a virus, bro. Like literally. And I think inherently we understand that, like, as a collective. And so I think that translates. A lot of people, art imitates life, like we've always said, and like I feel like that's kind of where things are headed. And I think that's a genuine fear, because, like I said, I think
I was literally just talking to someone at the bank the other day, telling them that my mom lived in the perfect time space. I'm not saying she lived the perfect life, but I'm saying she lived in the perfect time. In like, if you could drop yourself and drop a pebble in any time in human history, when is the best time to have jumped in? My mom like double dutched her ass right into the perfect. Like, she didn't have great beginnings. She started off in Vietnam, but once she got here, she was able to afford a house. She was able to retire in her late 30s.
and she was able to get out. So rest in peace, Benoit. But she was able to get out. She got out while the getting was good. I'm sorry.
Right at the last 2 days of 2019. So
yeah,
right before she got
before
out,
COVID,
COVID hit,
right before COVID. And I feel
Yeah,
like ever since COVID, we've been we've been going downhill as a species. Like, but anyway, I don't want to get into that too much. But yeah, I think that's why, And so, what movies are you referencing? Because I kind of glazed over
so
that.
so I just saw Hail Mary,
Okay,
the Ryan Gosling movie
Ryan
that he
Gosling.
recently.
I do want to see that. It looked pretty good with the little rock guy. The little, yeah,
Right. Yeah. I won't give anything away. It's a very good movie. It reminded me a bit of it. Again, not giving too much away. Like, do you remember the movie Enemy Mine way back in the day,
of
where it
course.
was like two
With
different species, but well, these guys aren't enemies to begin with, so
Yeah,
they
but
just
Lou
have to.
Gossett Jr. in Enemy Mine, they were like there was Lou Gossett Jr. and one of the Quaid brothers. I can't remember if it was Dennis Quaid or it was one of the Quaids. Like not the MAGA Quaid. It was the other one. Like so, um, but yeah,
Not
no. And so it's kind of like that. They had to kind of like this interspecies dynamic kind of thing going on or
right,
whatever.
kind of figure out this issue together. And so it's kind of it's good that way. I actually didn't really realize how much I like Ryan Gosling as an actor. Like,
I've
like some people are just very likable people.
Yeah, no, I've always said Ryan Gosling, ever since I saw him in the movie Drive, I thought he was a phenomenal actor. And I love Ryan Gosling. Like I wasn't a big fan of like the Notebook, but he was still really good in that one. So I love Ryan Gosling. I think he's actually a really good actor, and I can't wait to see him in Starfighter, to tell you the truth. Like I can't wait to see how well he does in that one. So
Right.
yes, Ralph says, yes, we are the parasite infecting Mother Earth. You are exactly right, Ralph. And I feel it. And I think she's been getting pissed at us since the boomers like decided to mess up this planet. Like I think she's really pissed at us Gen X guys, except for us, the Gen X men. She's not mad at us. She's because we love Mother Earth. We're totally okay with that. But yeah, like I mean, like Ryan Gosling is an amazing actor, and so the movie looked a little kind of like, I don't know, formulaic for me, but I do want to see it. I watched the trailer and I thought the trailer was good, so I am going to go check it out. But if you say it's good, I'm definitely going to go check it out. In fact, I'll probably go.
Yeah, it wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was good. It was worth watching. There
Yeah,
was some things that I probably need to watch a second time to make sure I understand, or every movie has its good parts and its down parts, but
yeah,
all in all, but it got me to thinking about Markiplier.
okay,
And we talked about that being such a phenomenon because it was a small time, well, not a small time YouTuber, big time YouTuber, but
small
was
time
able to
production
kind of break through the Hollywood studio system
for sure.
without the assistance of typical pipelines.
Typical pipelines and financiers and things of that nature. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, but just to kind of give people a heads up on that movie without giving too much away. That movie is kind of similar designs, isn't it? Like as far as like a similar plot line, as far as
Are you talking about Iron Lung or?
yeah, Iron Lung. Yeah,
No, I wouldn't say it's similar plot lines, or it's definitely
similar
handled in
theme.
completely different ways. But it got
Yeah,
me to thinking back to how like back in the day there was always two movies that had completely opposite ways of approaching the same
the
issue.
same subject, or
Right,
yeah, I
right.
got
And
you. Okay.
so in let's just say in the first movie with the alien, both the alien species and the human species were being affected by an outside source. So they had to go to the source and figure out how to stop it. You
How
know
to
what I mean?
stop it from affecting, because it wasn't just affecting Earth, it was affecting this other
Just
species planet as well.
right. It was affecting many, but this is the species they came encounter with. At
Got
any rate, the point of the matter is both of the movies had to do with cosmic threats, not threats like I can go change the pesticide in my yard because it's killing animals, or like things that just completely out of your hands. There
well,
is nothing you can do if a cosmic threat is coming.
I mean, isn't that the sort of the plot of the Fantastic Four movie? They had to deal with Galactus. He was a cosmic threat. Like we got them in what was it, in March? So or not March. That was when did freaking that was when did Fantastic Four come out? They came out 24 May 27, yeah, some May 2024. Or 2025, sorry. Yeah, dude. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I kind of feel like that cosmic threat thing, especially since we had the whole Three-Eye Atlas scare, I think that's been kind of like a worry of our species. And again, I not to beat a dead horse, but I think it's because like we know that we could be doomed any moment now, and we know, especially now that we know that aliens exist, like we could be on the chopping block, and there are forces out there that we can't necessarily handle, whether it's aliens or some other cosmic force, like a an extinction level friggin' asteroid, who knows, or like I said, just Mother Earth getting mad at us, dude. Like I you know what, I know a lot of media that's coming out right now. Have you heard of the show Paradise?
Mm.
Paradise is that's a really good show. I didn't know anything about it, and I heard a lot of hype about the season 2, so I had to go and watch it. And it's really good, but it talks about an extinction level event that we had to deal with as a world, as a globe. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty, and it shows human nature as well, like when faced with that kind of thing, like what it's the possibility of how we would react, and it's not necessarily a good or ethical or even moral reaction to it, like or it could be considered moral but not necessarily on the upside of moral. So yeah, I feel like a lot of media now, and I think that's just where we're at as a collective. I think that's a big worry for us. So I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that we're thinking about how things are going to end, because we're in some crazy times right now. And like I said, I'm not going to get too.
A lot going on right now.
Yeah, a lot going on. I'm not going to get too morose because we try to keep the show fun. But like, but
Jim Henson turned into Mad Max.
I mean, I don't think we're too far off from that. Only thing is I don't know if we're gonna have any oil. Like that's the only thing. I just don't know if gas prices are gonna be too expensive. I mean, so I guess it will be like Mad Max if we're fighting over gas. So, anyways, again, I don't want to get too morose. So, you know what? I think we should lighten it up a little bit, and I think we should get into our feature, talking about our buddy, or somebody who I wish I could have met, Jim Henson. I think he was a fantastic, he seemed like just a nice guy on paper, on film. Like I never heard any bad press about the guy.
Never heard about him ending up in some sex club in a wild.
No, in fact, I heard the exact opposite, where people would say that he was unnaturally faithful to his wife. Like he was devoted to his wife. Like he never
he was a religious guy, I believe, wasn't he?
You know what? I am not sure, but I mean, I could definitely do some research. But I do want to play a little clip from him on the Tonight Show. This is him with Johnny Carson. So this, again, some Gen X stuff right here. So this is.
What do you? How do young guys get it? These young, long-haired rock kids. Yeah. Play that lousy music.
What do you think of Dr. Tooth's music?
I hate it. Terrible stuff. Oh,
don't care for it at all.
No, frogs don't dig stuff like that.
No rock. I'm just old-fashioned music.
Yeah.
What kind of a part do you play in the special? They give you one line.
I got one lousy line.
That's sorry about that.
Yeah.
He was a master doing voices. I loved how
I'm nothing sure,
No. How's your love life?
How's my love life?
How's your love life?
Listen, I work on Sesame Street. You don't have You would ask Captain Kangaroo how's his sex life?
No, I wouldn't. That was wrong. That was wrong of me. I shouldn't have done that. Well, how's your health? Is that the same question? Is your health all right?
That's okay. He's got a bad throat.
What do you take for it?
Frog in throat.
In my throat.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. Dude, like
improv skill too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
His comedian skills in that
well,
moment.
And that was the point that I was trying to make during the intro, is that like he, like for all intents and purposes, dude, he's an actor. Like he improvs, he riffs, he and not to mention he creates art with fur and cloth and don't know what the little marionette thingies that you use to hold the hand. Like he creates like a whole character, not just his voice, but like you can still feel like, even though Kermit has no real way of emoting, you still feel his emotions either through voice inflection or through the movement in his hands or the way he nods his neck. Like that to me it's a talent. Like, and it's a talent that I don't think a lot of people realize is a talent. Like, to be able to do something like that, to be able to take something as like 2D as, if you will, as possible. I mean, I know it's not 2D; it's 3-dimensional, it's tangible, but it's still like being able to take that and to turn that into a functioning, long-running skit or joke or bit. Like, to me, I just think it's amazing. Like I said, it reflects his his acting chops, comedy, improv, like all that stuff that tons of actors have to learn all of those skills. Like there may be a comedian that might jump into you get your Chris Tucker that becomes an actor and be, on Friday or something like that, but he's got to really take some acting classes before he can really like hone in his skills and create a series of movies like Rush Hour 3 or even when he gets a more serious role like Jackie Brown or something like that. Like like I feel like Jim Henson was innately artistic, and I think that artistic showed with not only his puppets but with how he voiced and acted with his puppets. So yeah.
Well, all righty. It seems like you thought a lot about this.
I mean, I had some time to do my research and whatnot. This next clip I want to show is kind of one of my favorites, and this is from give a little setup. This is from the Muppet Show. And this is actually my favorite because of the fact that it has our buddy Mark Hamill in it. And it was from a skit that they used to do frequently on the Muppet Show called Pigs in Space. And this was pretty funny. So I want to play this clip as well.
You call that a soft landing?
I spaced my solenoids. Well, you were in the driver's chair. You forgot to push the stoppy thing.
It's called a brake, dummy.
Excuse me, Master Luke, but shouldn't we be looking for a safe refuge from this place?
Exactly right, 3PO.
I know. We can hide in that cave over there.
Ah, a good plan.
Gonzo.
Oh, nice.
This is Darth Nader.
Darth Nader.
Well, what do you want of us, Nader? Well, why don't you say something? Speak! Who's your tailor? I love that outfit. All right, Nader, take this. At last you know the awful truth. This here, my dear friend, is a crypto-anagon transmitter. It can totally neutralize any blaster. This means we must resort to the ultimate weapon. And hoity-toity, what pray tell might that be? Chewbacca the Wookiee.
Good old Chewbacca. Good old Chewie.
Hey, look how damn the poor Polly is.
And he chokes him like Lando.
One thing, kid. What's that? Angus McGonagall, the gargling. Trapped by Darth Nader, our weapon's useless, and now we're being tortured by gargling Gershwin. What could possibly get us out of it?
What else? They song and dance numbers.
Comes out of Dubuque, Iowa. You know, she's really fuzzy, though, man. Yeah.
Sorry, this is the other clip.
Yeah.
So,
Dr. Teeth.
yes, Dr. Teeth. Like, we'll get into that clip in a second. But yeah, dude, like, I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, no offense to Mark Hamill by any means, but I still feel like Jim Henson has a better grasp on acting than Mark Hamill did in that scene. Like, I feel like his characters had a lot more depth to them than unfortunately Mark Hamill did. No offense, no shade, Mark Hamill. Please don't come after me because I think you're great.
Well, I almost feel like the Muppets back then was kind of like Saturday Night Live for kids. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
rotating guests, rotating guests that we as teenagers and wanted to see, or little kids wanted to see, people that we looked up to that were cool in the movies.
No doubt,
Um,
no doubt at all. But my point is that a person like Mark Hamill, and again, no shade, like Mark Hamill now voices some of the most iconic animated characters around, and he does a phenomenal job doing that. But back in the 70s, my man wasn't the greatest actor in the world. Like, he was a kid and he just started out. And like I said, it took years for him to learn like how to really, like I said, dude, he's done the Joker, and like he's brought like life to a lot of these 2D animated characters, and I think he's amazing for it. But again, it just kind of proves my point that took a long time for him to develop that. I feel like Jim Henson.
I think you can even see that in his puppeteering career. Like, I love, and I'm sure we're going to get into this in a bit. But you know, a lot of the stuff that we're looking at here is his very basic,
Yes.
first level Jim Henson stuff. But when you think about all of the movies he's done,
Yeah.
and the different realms of movies, and not
Yeah.
just his own movies, but he's done work with other people as well,
Yep. Yep.
to work on their visions. When you look at that type of puppetry, like I think about not just, you know, not when we talk about, like, say, the Labyrinth, you know,
Yeah.
think about the Skeksis and do you remember the Striders? Remember, they were like, they almost looked like bats or moles, but the
Yeah.
Gelfling would ride on the backs of them or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a behind the scenes of, you know, because I love the Labyrinth when that came out, but I remember seeing the behind the scenes where it was these guys inside suits, but both on their hands and their feet they were walking on like extensions, so they had to learn to run in these suits with these, you know, 1 foot extensions, so that they had a unique looking beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Like, I totally give Jim Henson, like, to me, Jim Henson is to puppets what George Lucas was to sound and film. You know what I mean? Like, there was things that hadn't been done, and Jim Henson wasn't one to say, well, we're not going to do it. He's one to say, well, how can we figure this out?
No
How
doubt.
can we make this puppet come to life?
And let's not forget, while puppets were his like really like his main thing, he also pioneered a lot of stuff dealing with like animatronics and stuff like that. He was the pioneer in a lot of, like, when you think of the beasts like Falcor and like Hoggle and all those ones that had just so many moving parts, like Jabba the Hutt, like that was Henson, and like Henson was a big part of even Lucas's like creature creations, and when it came to ILM, like he was a very integral cog in that whole technology and advancement and whatnot. And so, like, he didn't even just, it wasn't just puppets. Like I said, he dealt with animatronics and special effects to where you know, like he pioneered a lot of that too, you know. I don't know, man. He seemed like a great dude. Like I said, being an animator, he was a creative producer, director, you know, puppeteer. I mean, like he really like the Dark Crystal, for instance. That was Jim Henson, bro.
Right.
And there was some amazing puppets and animatronics involved in the Dark Crystal. And then, of course, like you said, Labyrinth. And then one of my favorite shows, Fraggle Rock. But he even did Muppet Babies, like, you know, and that was animated. So it's like, it wasn't just puppeteering, although that was like kind of his start. Like he did a lot of that whole, you know, I don't know what to call it. Like, I guess you would say personify or anamorphize like aspect of Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Anything that you know had to be, you know, anamorphized, like as far as like an animal or, like I said, a puppet. He was the pieneer of that. I just think that's amazing. Like, and without him, there wouldn't be a Sesame Street. There wouldn't be, you know, the Muppet Show. There wouldn't. It definitely, you know, maybe with the help of Frank Oz.
I would say there would be Tim Burton.
Yeah, maybe with the help of Frank Oz, Lucas still might have gotten the jump off on some of his creature effects and stuff like that, and some of the animatronics and puppeteering. But I'm telling you, that was Henson and Oz. That was a collab, and like I said, Henson was the creative like force behind like the whole, like Frank Oz was great as well. I'm again, no shade toward Frank Oz, but still feel like Henson was the one that kind of like, he was the one that he was like that kind of creative glue that held that together. And yeah, I just think it was amazing. And not to talk on a side note, but like he, you know, I just recently found this out that he has a well documented history of standing up for and supporting like the LGBTQ plus community. So much that in 2012 he severed ties with Chick-fil-A after the CEO exposed the anti-gay marriage views, and stopped and started donating his proceeds instead to GLAAD. So I just thought that was a kind of an amazing thing. So he was a good human being on top of everything, and he has always maintained to love everyone and inclusive, celebrated, embraced diversity and whatnot. So I just think, you know, he's always been just a good human being as well as just an amazing artist. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't know if it's true or not. I may be spreading lies, but I thought it was because of one of his daughters being being a lesbian, that he was very open-minded to the cause.
Google is free, so this is how we put that. We'll and you might be right. I know he has a daughter, Heather and Cheryl, and he has a couple daughters. I think Heather and Cheryl Henson.
I think he has 2 daughters.
Yeah, Heather and Cheryl Henson. Let's see. Is
So the man has done a lot. I think if in the 80s, just about any puppet you could think of, man, I absolutely love the Labyrinth. We're talking about the Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal. The Dark Crystal being a super formative. In fact, there's a convention that happens every year in England, somewhere in London, called the Great Conjunction. That is a Dark Crystal con every year that I would die to get to.
Now, I'm gonna say this, dude. I love the movie The Dark Crystal, but that movie freaked me out when I first saw it.
Dude, the Skeksis were dope.
They were so cool, but they were so scary to me as a kid.
Right.
We'll definitely keep touching on this because I definitely want to talk about this. But I do want to debunk your whole thing because there's no evidence to suggest that any of Jim Henson's daughters, and he has 3 daughters, Lisa, Cheryl, or Heather, are gay. Cheryl's been married to a gentleman named Edwin A. Finn. Lisa and Heather Henson have also been involved in the family business and public life with no public information indicating that they're gay. So that shows us again that he was just an awesome dude, and it had nothing to do with that. So yeah, I'm always quick to fact check. Like I prefer facts over feelings. But yeah, I love that saying. Anyways, but
by the way, I'm sorry to forget to say, what's up, Night Vision?
Hey, Night Vision in the house. So yeah, dude, the Skeksis freaked me out, bro. Like,
dude, especially like the old one dying on his deathbed, like as a kid, that you're like, man. Dude, but it's just a testament to how good that man's work is.
Yeah. The work was amazing. It was phenomenal. Totally phenomenal. I'm gonna play this clip real quick, and then I want to get back to talking about the Dark Crystal because that was one of my favorite movies ever. So here we go. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. So who is this for those that don't know who it is, Van?
Where did you get your name? Dr. T.
My gold tooth there. Yeah. Got 3 gold records melted down in there. Melted them down and stuck them in my mouth.
Yeah. Who's going to be on the special tomorrow night with Dr. T?
Well, let's see. Shall I answer that?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, man.
Now, we got sort of an unusual line of characters. We got the homicidal maniac and the San Francisco earthquake. We got Mount Rushmore and the 7 deadly sins.
Mount Rushmore and the 7 deadly sins.
Fantastic.
Yeah, great.
And my group, which is the Electric Mayhem.
Did you start this as a kid? Fooling around with puppets?
Well, I started sort of just out of high school.
Right.
And then I had
It's a whole new departure from just the hand puppet. You've given them a whole new dimension.
That's what we're talking about. Like he's giving them a new dimension.
Film with the character.
Mhm. His own personality.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It has a lot of effects that you can do that you can't do live, right? You can combine the film and so forth.
Mhm.
Where's our old friend Kermit? Kermit around? Maybe we can call on Kermit. We can do
Back to or
All right. Yeah, dude. Like Johnny brought up a fantastic point that what we were talking about, that he brought a new dimension to these puppets and to the animatronics. Like, and I think that's amazing. Like I said, the Dark Crystal, dude. Like when you take a look, and I wish I had some footage to pull up, and I probably could pull up some footage of it. But when you look, I just don't want to get like kicked off of YouTube if we don't, get the proper copyrights. But yeah, I feel like dude, I feel like it's just amazing how like the detail that he came into with the whole puppeteer, the whole puppets involved in all the puppets involved in the Dark Crystal, I think was just amazing, dude. Like just like phenomenal. Like I just like the detail and just the structure and just the innovate, like how he did the elves versus the Skeksis. I just think like how they were so dainty and demure and how they moved and how lifelike they moved. Like it was just totally cool. Like I thought that was cool.
Right. All of the living creatures that he had, because he had
no doubt
water creatures that seemed like real. Fizz gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My wife just jumped on camera to ask me to open up a thing of juice, so that's what got me distracted. So I apologize, guys. Like that's why I was stuttering and stammering, because I'm thinking like, what is she doing in here? And then she just plops this thing of juice right in the front of the camera. So yeah, that was cool. But anyways, let's get on with the show. Yeah, no, like I said, I think a lot of that stuff is amazing, dude. And like I said, when you look at things like Labyrinth and like the characters that were involved, like from some of the more simple, what was the little guy that went in freaking Labyrinth? What was that guy's name? The little creature. Maybe I'm thinking, no, you know what? I'm thinking of Return to the Jedi, and I'm like, but okay, so but there were creatures like that. I swear there was a creature similar to that in Labyrinth, but I can't remember. But like you look at Hoggle and a lot of the other creatures in hey, what's up, Mez? A lot of the other creatures that were creature characters that were in Labyrinth, just amazing. Like
the worm. Hello. Did you say hello? I said hello.
Hello.
Every character, everything was done with amazing grace, and I think that's kind of why you look at like even at that time period in his life. Oh my God, why am I drawing blank? David Bowie. Bowie. I mean, he was such a famous singer that he could attach himself to these crazy projects or whatever, and he killed it. You can't think of anybody else to be the Goblin King,
and not having a serious traditional acting background. He killed it, and I think David Bowie did an amazing job. But you take just the surroundings of all the magic and the sets and the puppeteering and whatnot, and it just brings that movie to life. That movie is one of, and will still always be one of my most favorite movies. In fact, we were forced to watch that in our drama class in high school, like because of how amazing the sets were and how amazing the puppeteering. Our drama teacher made us watch that. Like that was for drama class. He made us watch that movie because it was such a fantastical movie. And it's the set design, like I said, everything about it is crazy. Everybody's excited to see Mezzo Mezzo being in the house. We're excited to see you too, Mezzo. Thank you for stopping by. So, yeah, dude, like I mean, there's nothing bad I can say about Jim Henson, dude. Like honestly, and I could ramble on and on about Jim Henson. In fact, like here's another little clip here that I wanted to show. Again, this is the one that I think you ruined, bro. Because like but let's see if you can.
Fiction. Yoda was originally going to be played by Jim Henson. Land.
Fact.
Frank.
I'm gonna go fiction. I think he helped design it, but I don't think he was gonna actually do it.
Land gets the point. It is a fact. George Lucas initially approached Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets, to perform Yoda, believing he was the best puppeteer in the world. Henson declined due to scheduling conflicts, but he personally recommended Frank Oz, who went on to voice and perform Yoda and help build the character's iconic quirks. Oz's performance was so good, Lucas campaigned unsuccessfully for him to get an Oscar nomination. Do you think if Jim Henson had done Yoda, he would have been a little too much like Kermit the Frog?
I'm a dog. I'm also a puppet. You see?
Oh man, how would you feel knowing you gave away one of the most iconic roles on the play, and you just gave it to your homeboy, dude? Like,
honestly,
I think this is one for you.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I honestly feel like Jim Henson being the gracious, and this is what I want to envision how this went down. I feel like that Jim Henson said, you know what, my boy Frank, I gave it to you. Ain't no reason to hate. You got it, bro. You did it, and you killed it, man. So I'm not hating. Like look what I did. like I feel like that. I feel like Jim Henson would not hate on him, and just like it just would help prop him up, dude. He recommended him for scheduling, and exactly success is sweetest when shared. I totally agree with that, Night Vision, and so that's why I feel like he would have been. He was totally cool with it. It was like, you know what? That's the way the universe rolled. That's the way he deserved it. So, and I have to agree. So that's what I'm keeping in my brain in this whole old rat trap up here. That's how I'm gonna envision how that went down. So,
and even till his end, he's always been in interesting projects.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of things that if we went down his IMDb list, we could be sitting there. We could make a video for the next 2 hours.
I'm
talking
sure.
about his projects.
I'm sure. In fact, like I feel like we should go down his freaking at least some of his IMDb list. Because I definitely want to just at least highlight some of his projects. Okay, this is one that I'm not sure if you knew about. Did you know that he did the puppets for the TV show Dinosaurs?
Yes, I did know that.
Yes.
I think that's one of his last projects on TV, right?
I want to say it was getting close. Yeah. Well, okay, so he passed away. I want to say, let's see. Hold on. When did it say he passed away? He passed away in 1990. That show ran till 95. So he passed away shortly after that show went to air. So yeah, he did
one of his last TV projects. I would have been right.
Yeah, you were right. I think you were exactly right. Dude, but he's got, I mean, a lot of his shows are definitely, a lot of them are definitely have to do with like the Muppets and whatnot. But he's still like I said, Labyrinth being one of the greatest movies of all time. A lot of them Muppets and Elmo and Sesame Street based stuff.
As in thinking of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
and yeah, we were definitely talking about the Dark Crystal before you popped in here. That because I had nightmares. Do you remember? But I always thought it was so. I was like, do you remember when they had the utensils on their fingers? I was like, oh, that's so cool. They had like the forks on their fingers and they had the knives, and I was like, that's heckin' tight, dude. I wanted fork utensils, finger utensils.
Yeah, I never wanted the Skeksis again. They scared the living crap out of me. I like I said, I was enthralled and freaked out at the same time. Like my mom took me to see that movie, and like she had like there was times where I thought I was gonna jump out of my skin. And it wasn't until later years that I could actually watch that movie and greatly appreciate that movie.
I was prepared because I I watch Transformers because what's his name? Chamberlain always remind me of Starscream. Even his voice sounds the same. He's got that same kind of whiny.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Um, uh, I think it's a movie. There was a movie called The Storyteller that he did. Um, uh, or maybe it was it was a movie. It was The Storyteller where he had the little dog. He puppeteered the dog. And this old guy. I don't know. It was okay, but again, the puppeteering was great. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, like I said, one of the most iconic shows that have ever existed. Well, two of the most iconic shows that have ever existed outside of the Muppet Show and Sesame Street were Fraggle Rock and Muppet Babies, dude. Like Muppet Babies was amazing, dude. And I used to love Muppet Babies, and I feel like Muppet Babies kind of even paved the way for some more shows. But I used to Muppet Babies ran from 1984 to 1991, and again shortly after he died. So like, yeah, dude, like, and then of course we both remember Fraggle Rock. I love Fraggle Rock.
Oh heck yeah! But wait, hold on. I want to go back to Muppet Babies because I just realized something.
Yeah,
I've never thought of this before, but do you ever stop to think that Muppet Babies were like our time? Like that's like the young, like the predecessor to Family Guy.
Wait, what?
Because like there was a lot of the scenes where there's a lot of jokes in Muppet Babies where they were like the joke was kind of like a jump cut scene, you know what I mean?
Okay. I was like, dude, how are you making parallels for Muppet Babies and Family Guy? Because I have nothing.
They would open the closet and like TIE fighters would be flying out of it or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I remember. I get what you're saying in that retrospect. I'm thinking, dude, what is he saying? Like that Muppet Babies had like crazy, like weird, like overt undertones. I was like, they better not taint Muppet Babies for me.
I often think Ren and Stimpy were the gateway to a lot of the like. You couldn't have Beavis and Butthead without Ren and Stimpy.
Of course, yeah, I agree. Ren and Stimpy. There we go. But yeah, dude. Like again, I definitely agree with with in this lens to his whole like cinematography and how he incorporated cinematography within the animation as well as cinematography into his puppeteering and whatnot as well. So I think that just showed some of his genius there, being able to do, like you said, those cut scenes and kind of paving that way. So like, I think that's really cool. He said there was one show that had token elements and it was also puppets. Was that maybe that was The Storyteller? I'm thinking of that's the only show I can think of that had kind of some token elements to it. Besides
the one that I'm thinking of is more of a cartoon.
No, Muppet Babies.
No. The Jim Henson project.
Oh, that was more of a cartoon. Let me look.
Sorry, I'm playing with the camera and I'm doing a crappy job.
No, you're okay, bro. You're okay.
Trying to add some excitement to the shots, but I can't find the damn camera I'm looking for.
He said it was the Tolkien-esque. I mean, I feel like both Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal definitely kind of had Tolkien-esque themes to it.
You have to check his IMDb and see.
He did a couple of pieces. I mean, he did a couple of movies back in the day that were really just kind of avant-garde. One was called Timepiece, and the other one was called The Cube. Those are movies that he did back in the 60s. And I know those are kind of like very kind of experimental, kind of some effects and stuff like that. But he also did that movie in the 90s. I think this was actually technically his last project that he did. He did a lot of the puppeteering for. It was called The Witches.
The Witches.
The Witches. He did a lot of the makeup effects and stuff.
Are we on camera right now? I'm sorry. I was playing around with some stuff and I was like, I can't tell what I have done. I think I might have made it.
Yeah, we're still on camera.
Are we? Can you see?
Yeah, I think you can still see. There we go. We're back in the action now. Yeah, we're still on camera. Thank goodness she didn't mess us up too bad. We see that while cinematography was great, while Jim Henson was great with cinematography, we see that my buddy Rad Boy Go is not so great with this.
Right. I do not have the DNA.
I'm kidding. You're a wonderful director, dude. I'm gonna play another clip real quick just so we can move along. I'm gonna play this. This is actually a clip from the Arsenio Hall show that he was on, and this is pretty funny. This is with Ralph.
Okay. Well, now look. See, I got two hands. I got one puppeteer. Okay. He's operating the head. He's operating the head. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I used to watch you a long time ago on the old Jimmy Dean show. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Dean show.
Is it hard for dogs to get work?
Well, yes, it is. I'm glad you brought that up. There aren't many dogs working around these days, You see K9?
Yeah.
Yeah, good film. Good film. Jerry Lee, big star. He's a great star. Sure, but
Ralph. Jerry Lee?
yeah, he's a dog in that.
Oh, that's his name. Okay,
Yeah.
see, I thought Jerry Lee was when you said
Oh,
Jerry
no,
Lee.
no, no. Jerry Lee the dog. Jerry Lee the
Do you
dog.
know that
He's good.
dog?
Well, we've met. We all understand each other, we're part of a little club,
Where'd you meet Jerry Lee?
Let's see, I'm thinking about it. I'll get something after a while. We're part of show business,
I'll tell you what, I'll bail you out. How about singing a song?
Oh, can I do that?
If you'd like to, Mike. Can you work with Raw?
Oh, sure.
This song is kind of funny.
Okay.
It's called You and I and George. Goes like this. You and I and George were strolling through the park one day. And then you held my hand as if to say, I love you. We came to a brook and George fell in and drowned himself.
Oh, poor George.
Poor George.
To sea,
He floated out to sea.
leaving you alone with me.
Oh. Poor George.
Poor George.
Gordy, what do you think?
That was wonderful. Bravo. I love that. That was great.
Hello there.
I thought that was pretty hilarious. And I want to roll right.
I don't know if you were watching his face when he's doing that. He's got really good mouth control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, to be able to get those octaves and to do those different voices, like he's got the more higher pitched Kermit and the more lower pitched Ralph and whatnot. I don't know, man.
Because like to Jim Henson, those aren't puppets. Like they each have their own personality.
Yeah.
Ralph is Ralph. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't put on Ralph and then accidentally turn into
Kermit. Yeah, no doubt. No, and that's the thing. It's like they all he turned those puppets and he gave those puppets personality. He gave those puppets life. I could pick up that puppet, put my hand inside of it, and I could make some funny voice, and it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be Ralph. And there's no way you can recreate that. He gives a certain dynamic to these characters. And when you think of the hundreds of characters that he's puppeteered and had a hand in creating and whatnot, it's amazing. I hate that his life was cut short, but I'm glad that his life and that he existed. Because right. I think he was amazing. So
that man fulfilled so much in the short time he was working.
Yeah.
Only actually working like 30 years or so. I mean,
yeah, I'd say
that's
a lot, but unfortunately he passed away at the age of 53, so he wasn't much older than us. So
right.
A big Gen X salute to Jim Henson. And with that, I want to just get on a good note on this little documentary clip of a documentary of Jim Henson that was produced by Disney and Imagine
My name is Jim
Entertainment.
Henson, and I'm a puppeteer.
Sesame Street. The Muppets. Dark Crystal.
Labyrinth.
Jim created out of innocence. He showed people the good in all of us.
Is this a 9 to 5 job? Yeah, it's every moment of one's life kind of job, those things.
There's so many songs about rainbows and what's on the other side.
From a very early age, he had the feeling that he was here for a purpose.
Characters come about from many different ways. It was my mother's coat and a ping pong ball. That's how it all started.
Wow.
He had so many ideas and so many things he wanted to do. His inner life must have been sparkling.
The space he gave to an expression of imagination, I see that in everything that he did. I love you.
Oh.
I love you too.
There was nothing that Jim didn't entertain. And everything was getting a little bit bigger.
Becoming famous was what he wanted, that there was an innocence getting lost. It was going to impact his relationship with us and everything that was complex.
He wanted to do more than is humanly possible.
That idea that time could run out was just unthinkable.
If Jim was here, I just have to thank him.
Man. You know, when you have those when you hear those people say, you know, if you could pick, you know, one person dead or alive to go back and talk to or have lunch with, Jim Henson would definitely be in the
He would
top five.
definitely be on. Yeah, he would definitely be on my list as well. Definitely. Again, a nice salute to a wonderful iconoclast and pioneer of the.
You know, choked up.
Yeah, I know. I was getting choked up too. That's why I had to. I almost took myself off screen. Like I was getting a little choked up. But no, that was he was an amazing man, and I'm glad we did this show about him because, like I said, I feel like, you know, not a lot of kids may not even know what Jim Henson did for the future of what we see as even in creature effects to this day. You know, a lot of stuff's done via you know, animation or you know, AI or whatnot. But you know, if it wasn't for Jim Henson, we wouldn't have a lot of those iconic creatures, such as, like I said, Yoda. You know, Yoda's CGI now, but you know, he wasn't always. And you know, if it wasn't for Jim Henson, we wouldn't have had Yoda. So, hats off to you, sir.
You know, I think it's very interesting how a lot of times created media, I almost feel like once something is created and accepted, it can never truly die. It can wane, but it'll come back up in 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that same way with kind of like the all the legacy that he built. Everything that he built, there's going to be, he left a legacy to all these kids who are now going to then become filmmakers and kind of build. You know what I'm truly amazed at? Like, I look at some of the, like, I don't know if you watch young skateboarders now, especially ones that do line tricks.
I do.
And they're like literally almost like Rodney Mullen will like pop into 3 or 4 like line tricks in a row. I honestly believe this would never have been possible without Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Because back then people were just popping one trick and, you know, just doing a shove it off of, you know, a ramp or something like that. That was like, but it wasn't until you had to believe that you could do 4 tricks in a row and end it on a manual. You know what I mean?
Well,
and
see,
now kids are doing that crap.
Well, the thing is while I think you're correct in a sense, I feel like one of the people that could do multiple tricks in a row would have been that kid Rodney Mullen.
Well, I mean,
Rodney Mullen like was the king of Flatland, and he could do multiple tricks in succession.
Including the ollie.
Yeah, and in succession. So I really would like to maybe give him a little more of the credit than technically the the game. But you're right, the game did allow us because we played that game. We played Tony Hawk Pro Skater and I honestly I had a great time with that. We did unbelievable things that while not all of them could necessarily be replicated,
not by the physics of the planet
of Earth, yeah, because sometimes that game defied physics. But yeah, I get it, and that's a good way to kind of analogize like the whole
But
issue.
I look at some of these tricks that like young kids are developing now, and like some of them they're so technical. You're like, God damn it, how did your brain even think to
To do that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I should send you some some video clips or whatever, but some of these kids are absolutely
I watch them.
amazing.
I follow a few on TikTok. So there's a female that does some amazing. A couple females that I follow that do some amazing things. There's this one guy that's like 50 years old that does some amazing things, and I'm just like, bro, what am I doing with my life? Like really, like whoa. But yeah, so I got a question, bro. We're approaching 11:11, dude. Do we have time to do the React video, or what are we gonna do? Are we gonna play that? Are we gonna?
Well, I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you wanting to cut it off or something? Or
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've kind of we did talk a lot about Jim Henson, and we kind of went a lot. I feel like maybe we should save the React video for next week, unless you want to see it. Like I don't know.
Well, we'll save it for next week. But I feel like the show should be a 3-act show.
I agree.
But, yeah, we can.
Well, then how about this?
We'll have to be more efficient with our time on the other end.
On the other end, we should definitely be more efficient with our time, because we really were only one act today. like we were, because we really didn't do any nerdy news, and we didn't do our React show, but we'll get that in for next week. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I did bring up my nerdy thoughts.
Yes, you did put in nerdy thoughts. So we did. We're like an act and a half, I guess, or whatnot. So, well, as always, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and you guys are amazing. Thank you for putting up with us.
Everybody, go check out one Jim Henson thing. One thing that you remember. Go, whether it's Fraggle Rock or Labyrinth or Dark Crystal, whatever Jim Henson you were reminded by, even Sesame Street. Go watch one Jim Henson thing this week, and come back in our comments and let us know what is your favorite Jim Henson project. Mezzo remembers the Dark Crystal, which was one of my favorites too.
Still one of my favorite. Dark Crystal and
Labyrinth, I'd have to say.
That and the Labyrinth are two of my favorite projects. But then, of course, like I said, all his work he's done with the Star Wars universe. Like I said, that still is very impactful. I mean, you got to think, creatures like Jabba the Hutt and stuff wouldn't exist or wouldn't have existed in the Star Wars universe if it wasn't for Jim Henson. So, obviously Frank Oz picked up and ran with the mantle. But yeah, Jim Henson definitely paved that way. So he was amazing. Well, without further ado, I would like to say thank you once again for tuning in to Gen X-Men, and always check out everything Kyber Cave Productions is doing.
I want to say really quickly, don't forget, we got to be better too about this too. This episode is brought to you by kybercave.com. Make sure to head over to kybercave.com for all your combat needs. We are coming up on May 4th. Make sure you have the saber you need to beat up the loved one in your life.
I was just getting ready to say all that stuff.
I don't think Falcor was a Jim Henson, was he?
You know what? Let's go ahead and let this be the last.
That's a very
good fact check of the night. It'll be our last fact check of the night.
There you go.
Well,
good question, Night Vision. Fact check. We should make that a thing. Fact check of the night.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to create an animation for that. Don't worry. I'm gonna do this week. It's great for fact. Let's see. Falcor, Jim. Fact check of the night.
But see, the only thing about saying fact check of the night implies that we can only do it once.
Yeah, I know, right? Fact check. I will. I'll have to come up with something. So no, the original
Crazy
Falcor puppet.
motherfuckers on the internet.
It says no. The original Falcor puppet from the 1984 film The Neverending Story was not made by Jim Henson Creature Shop. It was constructed by 1984 production team member Colin Arthur and mechanical engineer Giuseppe Turturro. However, The Neverending Story animatronic characters were produced by the Jim Henson Creature Shop. So he did do a lot of for the Neverending Story 3 in 1994. They were created by I didn't even know that. Did you know that movie existed?
I had no idea.
The Neverending Story 3?
Apparently it never ended.
Well, I mean, it's a name. Yeah, I dude, really? There was a 3? Now I got to go watch that, man. Jeez.
Wow.
I got to find that. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, fellas and ladies, we bid you a fair adieu. I will say good night and good night to my fellow cohort. This is DJ Uppercuts. That's my man, Rad Boy Go. We are signing off.
We'll see you next Sunday.
We'll see you next Sunday, guys.
Some crazy topic.
Yeah, we don't even know what we'll talk about yet, but it'll be something that we can ramble about. So, love you guys. Peace.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.